Alright folks, here we are with the last experiment of the Arctic Animal Science Kit by LEGO Education. This is set number 45203. Contains, I don't know, 1,100 pieces. Retails $499.99. That was provided by the LEGO Group for review. Thank you, LEGO. Yeah, so this is the last experiment here. And looks like we're doing maybe polar bears? I'm not sure what this is yet. I'm just looking at it from first impressions. And just like with all the other ones, this one doesn't look too exciting. Well, it is your lucky day because guess what we have to do is a bunch of bags. But before we get into that, so polar bears must navigate terrain in the Arctic, hunt and find shelter. Okay, cool. Well, didn't we already do something with polar bears? And yeah, we're just doing a quick preview of the book real quick here because I got to show you here. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, but mostly I've been bored with the builds in this one here. I think because they're just pretty much the same thing. So in today's installment, yeah, we got to do 5 bags. Look, just 3 bags just for this alone. I hope it goes quick. We'll take a look at the bags here before we do the disclaimer. Okay, so 14 and 15 respectively. These are not that big. So this is like normal. We got to do 3 of these, and they're all big. I kid you not. This set has been dragged out for so long. I want to get back to the Venusaur, but I figured I'm going to get this one done here real quick just to get it out of my life. That's bad. You shouldn't feel like that about a Lego set, but these are not too exciting. Okay, what's not more exciting is the disclaimer. So these are not to be considered or construed as professional product reviews, how-tos, or tutorials. These are just merely my notes for a write-up for a review. All the verbiage, commentary is of my own words, my true feelings about the set. LEGO doesn't pay me to say anything except that this is a paid promotional offer. Other than that, everything else comes from my imagination and stuff, including the storytellings. So, in addition to all that, this is just for fun. I do this just leisure. It's better than being outside doing yard work. So this is just for fun. This is not a job. I don't do this as an income or anything like that. I just do this for fun. Okay. And in addition to that, which is a lot of additions for all these disclaimers, just don't take these seriously. Just sit back and relax. I may end up making mistakes. I may have put parts in the wrong places. I've been noticing that lately. So just watch the video all the way through to the end because we usually make corrections. Unless it's a multi-part installment, then I really have messed up. But yeah, this is just more or less just a hobby of mine. Okay, well, let's begin. We're going to start with bag 11. And yeah, I am more or less exhausted of doing education sets. These are not the most exciting thing for me. So what does that mean? That just means that I got to get more parts out of the bags here. I just don't want to do this one. I saw it today and I thought, I don't want to do it, but I got to get it finished. So I'm going to finish it today. I'm going to finish the whole review. I was supposed to do the Venusaur, and I thought, I'm so close to finishing this one up now. Let's just get it done. And so let's just have double vegetables today, and we'll have our dessert another day. That's bad when you feel like that about a Lego set. And yeah, today is the 24th of April, 2026. Okay. So obviously we're doing the minifigure. All right. Yeah, my table here. It's got all dings and stuff. I was thinking about putting linoleum tiles on it. The stick-on tiles. He's got a double-sided head here. But I got to thinking, those tiles are pretty heavy. And I want to kind of have it where there's no cracks in the middle. So I got to see if I could find me a good heavy-duty 2x4 sheet, maybe Formica or something. Just to something a little more harder finish. This is a 3/4 inch plywood, and yeah, that's you think it would be durable, but it's not. So, I'm gonna try to find something here to clean this up a bit. I'd like to make more of a bigger workshop type thing. Like I said, my workshop's got a big looking for a pair of binoculars. It's got like a 10-12 foot long workbench that would be easy. It's deeper than this, probably the width of this table. It would be a lot easier to do things out there than it would be in here. But then again, I won't have a comfortable place to sit except for a stool. And that's our, I'd say he's more of an explorer. Or scientist maybe. Got his binoculars and stuff. Yeah, not too bad for the minifigure. Okay, looks like maybe we're working on a baby polar bear. Okay. Yeah, so I've been going through some of my older tutorials trying to figure out, okay, I need to get some stuff cleaned up. So I've been working on some of my older building guides, trying to make sense out of a mess. I have one that I've been working on and off for a few months now, and I was going through it today. Sometimes you got to have a break from just doing Lego stuff, and I found a solution. So from the original tutorial of this building guide, I'm going to do maybe 2 changes to it parts wise, because it'd be a little better to put things together, so make it easier. Doing a video tutorial is a little different, but this thing I built was a prototype at the time. Oh, come on. Stop making a mess, Jay. Just a prototype for its time. So I've been just slowly nibbling at projects. So if you've been waiting for certain things for me to get done, it's going to be a while. Everything is just still taking its time. Because I got to do sets like this. This is in the way right now, so I got to get it going. And I've been butterfingers all week. Oh, speaking of butterfingers, I got my blood pressure taken, and it's normal. With all the stress I've been under, I'm surprised. But also I exercise a lot too. That could be a contributing factor to it. That's what my girlfriend said. She is an RN and she knows that stuff, where I don't. I'm a computer programmer. Yeah, so I've been working a little bit more on the V software, the VTuber software type thing. And I'd like to put my character down here where he's got a voice. But the thing is, I got it to work. I got to figure out how to put it in a video now. And he will move, but his head is just static. It won't move. It doesn't move around. I got hand tracking to kind of work, but I need to find something a little more robust than just what I'm doing. So I've been trying to figure a way to just like make these a little fun. I'm trying to find another one of these clips here. So just something you gals can look at here. I'd like to set up another camera. Unfortunately, what am I looking at? Like I have to look straight at the camera. It means I have to have the phone or something right here that stares right back up at me. Okay. And 2, you got to have good lighting. Now I have good lighting, but unfortunately I got a shadow that casts down on my face, and that distorts the tracking software a bit. So I have to think of a way to do that and get that to work. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, I guess, have their static. Or I could sit there and, oh, come on, we're already falling apart. But just trying to make that work is going to be a problem, just like this. It's boring, but we got to do it. Okay, sorry about that. I had to go check a video. I'm trying to get videos done right now, mostly just tutorials. I got a vehicle filmed. I still got 4 more vehicles for the year. I haven't really had a chance to get to them because, you know. And Lego is sending me sets. I thought, okay, there's one that I've been wanting to just kind of deny. I try to go on there and it won't let me do it, so I think they're already going to send it out. And unless it's stuff like, we're talking like a fun creator set or something like that, I don't know. Well, you know what, creator sets have gotten to be more or less not that anymore. Anybody remembers the old creator sets? You had like a house, and you could probably convert it into a gas station, and one would be like a store. I miss those. Now it's just all animal figures or real life devices, and I'm just kind of like, you know, if you're a city or suburb builder or cityscapes, yeah, not too much fun. Oh, that's the head of the bear. Oh. Yeah, so I really would like to get done with this set today, as much as I don't want to work on it. It's here, you know. You know, I was listening to myself in the last couple of builds on this, and I just thought, oh yeah, these, I am bored to tears putting these together. Especially when the builds are crumbling apart. It's like I've mentioned in a few other builds. They're bare bones. They are bare bones builds. Like I have one that I think was the Mars mission. I have it sitting in a tote, and literally I've moved this thing around about 4 times, and it's literally crumbling apart. That's how bad they are. The quality on these is just kind of, it's just bad. You know, these are just your bare minimum. It's an overglorified Creator City pack. I know I sound ungrateful, but you know, there's your polar bear. And I mean, yeah, I think I would have been happier with a brick built animal than, or a pre-molded animal, a molded animal than this. It's like almost like a deformed Snoopy from the Peanuts. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Okay, now we're moving on to the adult polar bear, and yeah, let's get going here. But other than that, though, being bored to death on these, I've been sorting through parts. I got something done this week. I ripped apart a few more sets. Haven't fixed the loose, wobbly table yet, but you know what? Let's see here. I need to do something better about this. Time has not been on my side. Time has just been, haven't had a chance to really get anything done. And, yeah. Now, the only good thing about these type of sets is up to 4 people can build them. So, right now, I think the score we talked about was probably at a 7, just due to build quality. Build quality is killing this one. I'm not going to go off of it. Is it keeping my interest? Honestly, I'm bored of this one. I'm sure somebody else will find this set very fun. I can't like them all. This is one of them that I just have to say I'm not accepting any more educational sets. These are just kind of a not too thrilling. I think it's the colors. It's just the colors are so muted, subtle, and you know, at least we're not messing with vomit colors. But at least I'm getting something done today. As much as I don't want to work on this one. So hopefully I can review it here in a few hours. It should take me no more than 2.5 hours to get the full thing done. Then I got to hop back on the big machine. I got to start editing part 3. I just shadow filed it up. I was getting ready to edit and I had forgot a part. So I had to go back in, try to find it, found it, put it on there. Now I got to wait for it to shadow file before I can even edit. So it's never ending on editing videos. That kind of thing. But we were talking about camping, though, which was the fun thing. A friend and I. The foil pouch idea sounds pretty good because her and I both agree we're going on a vacation. We do not want to be doing dishes. Okay, so yeah, so we're trying to figure out what meals to put together. We're already going to do hamburgers, so what we're doing is we're going to pre-make the patties here. And then we'll just wrap those up and we'll put them in like an ice chest, and we're ready to do. We'll just leave them in the foil and just pop them on the grill. That saves a bunch of time. And then one night we're going to have like maybe pasta or something like that. So we're just going to have everything pre-made. It's going to be pre-made. We don't want to have to, you know, it's not like we're going to be cooking steak. We were talking about that. We may bring a steak up there and actually grill it. But her and I both agree we got to make 2 of these here. We just don't want to do dishes while we're on vacation. I'm like, I don't want to do those. So think of something here. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? These are the legs. I'm going to mirror these real quick. Okay. So let's just do these. These are from the book. These 2 here are going to be mirrors. Okay. So yeah, let's do that here. Okay. Okay, never mind. I thought maybe I'm making a mistake here. No, it's just that in a 1x2. So we were just talking about that. We already got sleeping arrangements done. We're just going to make a homemade tent with the tarp. Just put it in the back of the truck. I got some sprinkler lines that I could use, some PVC, just enough to make a ridge and to drape it over and stuff. So I think that's what we're going to do here. And I don't want to stay in a camper or anything like that. That would not be fun for me. Just something fun to do. And to kind of get away from the city. So we're probably going to hit in sometime in next month, early May, mid-May. And just to kind of get away. She can only get off on the weekends, so we're going to plan it probably Friday through Monday. We don't know. We're probably going to stay no more than 2 or 3 days. Oops, I don't go there. So we're just kind of poking around and just trying to think of things to do. Something fun. The only tech we're bringing is the phones and maybe a flashlight and an emergency radio, but that's it. I'm not bringing any computers or anything like that. Well, I thought we were going to get done with this in a hurry, but look what we're missing. We're missing a tile here. Let me make sure here. Yeah, so I need 4 of those. Let me go check the bags here real quick. Because it could have got hung in there. Yes, it did. That's the downfall of paper bags. That's the only dislike I don't like about these, is the parts get hung in there. So there's your legs, you know, brick built, nothing fancy. We're going to start with the ones we put in here first. They go in opposing corners, and then you take the last 2. You put them in like that. And then we fold them down. Well, step 12 does the same thing. It's just a mirror. At least we got that miserable thing done there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to do the head here. And so far with the build though, yeah, I could definitely leave this one at the door. I probably said that a million times, or I know my hands are in the way, but you're not missing much, except for me complaining through the whole thing. I mean, it's starting to look like a head. Oh, wait a minute. You know, I made a mistake. This is not supposed to go here. I bet somebody was probably cussing me out over that and got blocked. That's much better, huh? It's mostly white pieces. A lot of these sets have just been a lot of white. I mean, literally, I'd say probably about half my Lego collection is full of white parts. I literally kid you not, folks. It's just white pieces. Nothing wrong with it. It's just, it's not an exciting color to really kind of mess around with. Unless you're doing snowy scapes and you have a pop of color. Now, we're not done with this yet, so we don't know. And I just realized the minifigure had a pickaxe with her. I'll put that with her too. Just like I said, you got to watch these all the way through because I will make mistakes in these. I had one person comment, you make a little too many mistakes with these. You know, that's why I have the 2 or 3 minute disclaimers. And somebody had said, you need to post it in your comments as a pinned comment about the disclaimer. And I thought I may have started doing that. Because I guess nobody reads the description, but they're leaving comments. So hopefully they'll see it unless they scroll over it. Just make sure it's pinned. Alright, so I got that in there. And then the head, back to this. Yeah, what? Oh. Because I didn't put that pin in there, that's why. I'll put that in there, and I'm just going to grab it like this. Well, that doesn't go like that, obviously. And there we go. And yeah, we spent about 20 minutes just doing this bag here, which is about right. There's your polar bear. I mean, it's not bad, but it just looks too mechanical. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but you know, so be it. And this is what we have remaining. Okay, now we're going to move on to bag 12. And yeah, this is going to be done in all one installment. So unfortunately, we're going to have to be bored together. Looks like that's another 20 minutes there. Yeah, if you're looking for something with a lot of color, find another set. I'm just being honest. Although, I could use these. Oh. Well, 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 now how do you do? There's 5 of these. Dark blue. It'd be good for like a dark, like maybe something that's involved in a sea life or something. All the lines down there. They should have put this more here at the top, but they didn't. Probably my only gripe is really the smaller bags. You got to go like this and make sure there's nothing in them. Even so, that's not good. So don't throw your bags right away. Put your bag somewhere until you're done with the build. That's the only survival tip I can give you here. So now it looks like we're focusing on something big here. I mean, at least we're doing big pieces. And yes, I could use transparent blue tiles. Let's hope I get more. At least we get a lot of medium and large pieces. I've been getting a lot of these mountain parts too. I don't really use them, but honestly though, these are a nice good backdrop piece. You can blend those in. I never use them for any of my campground stuff, but you know. These are a nice piece to have too. Yeah, so we're back to white again full-blown white. And now we got a little bit of gray in there. Okay, rotate it and shove it here. Thought we needed a big plate. Well, let's just shove that in there. We'll do the steps out of order. Why not? I'm a rebel today. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've been reading some of the comments on here that, you know, I help out a lot of people. Some people are just not grateful. Some want me to do the build for them. You know, this type of thing, I literally can't. These are just merely suggestions. You know, you could build your Lego set any way you want. You know, my method here may be different than what you're used to building. It's like I always say in my videos. You know, you could tackle the set any way you want. There's no right or wrong way of putting together a Lego set. Because at the end of the day, it's your Lego set. You can do everything you want. Now, I also am picking up something I'm doing more as a benefit for the community. And I'm starting to read up on ASL, or American Sign Language. You know, I've been thinking about it more and more. It'd be a very big help with the community if I learned how to do that. And just to, to learn it so I can communicate. And would I be able to sign? No, because I'm looking at it from my point of view here. It would be hard. I would have to turn my hands this way. I'm trying to think here. I think this right here is A. I think that's what I remembered so far. So I learned if that's the case, I've already learned the letter A. So I'm going to try to learn how to do it. There's lots of videos on YouTube that will show you how to do it. And I'm going to have to study with the alphabet first, just like when I did Japanese and English and then French, is you start with the alphabet. Of course, those were easier because, you know, you got A, B, C, and of course, you had, I think it's called Kenji for Japanese. You had to learn the very basics. You know, it doesn't come easy. And when you're dyslexic and ADHD and autism all rolled up into one, it makes that learning kind of challenging. So you just have to get going on it there. So I've been thinking just, you know, getting into it. Just learn a little bit every day. It's not like school. And just watch a lot of videos on YouTube. You know, I do tutorials right on Lego. I'm going to be looking at tutorials on ASL. I think it'd be cool to just learn how to do it. Learn how to. It's basically a second language, and just go into it. I think it'd be really cool. And then I got to thinking it'd be kind of cool because I know I have viewers that are hearing impaired, and you know, something like this, you're going to have closed caption. There's no, well, I could just sign everything in the corner. You know how, you know what, that would be perfect for VTuber software. If I can get to work with sign language, would look even better. But I think it also requires face and stuff like that. I know I'd have to get the hand tracking to work correctly. So just imagine me with my face in the corner down there doing the sign, then you don't have to read the text. Well, in case I really just butchered up the language so bad. And it would be kind of cool just to kind of take this up a little bit more to a notch. Just to kind of learn it. Which there's always like some debate, you know, they should have taught it in schools. I'd say it's a branch off the English language. Why don't we teach it? I don't know. I'm not going to get into the whole politics behind it, but it should be taught. I mean, when I used to work in fast food millions of years ago, we would run across a customer. And then the customer would actually have to write everything down because nobody knew sign language. And I think that's, you know, this is something you have to think of from from a hearing person's perspective. Now, I have a vision impairment. I don't know what it's like to see 20/20. I have to have visual aids to help me do that. Okay. So, hold on, I'm trying to figure it out here, what I'm doing here. So it's just like that, you know. It'd be nice and to just to learn the language and then just sign everything in here. So now they're a part of the conversation, just reading text. Then they can see my facial expressions as well as you guys too. Like, not so good. Well, I don't know how to sign that. So see, I wouldn't know. Okay, now it looks like we're going off to some tangent here. Well, basic bricks. Yeah, well, I mean, at least we're getting something here. There was another one I remember on my days of live streaming. I would go on this website here. I remember somebody had said, you take your arm, you extend it out, and you go, you're like, slow. Or it's like slow. I think. Or it's outward, slow. There's only a few signs that I remembered, though. We had a guy in our group that, you know, he's fully deaf, so he would sign and he'd listen to music and stuff. And I learned a little bit from him, you know. But I can't just imagine how lonely it would be, you know. So if there's more of us that know how to sign, he wouldn't be left out. And that's where I kind of just like, I need to learn this language somehow. I need to just, it's something I want to do. I could have learned it in college, but you know how college courses are. You actually have to pay and you get graded, you know. I think it'd be fun. Now, with somebody like me who has a learning disability, it's going to be a slow go for me. So slow for me. It'll take some time for me to learn it, but I think it'd be a very good benefit to, so my goal is, if I can keep up on it, is to try to learn 1 or 2 new signs a day and start doing the alphabet. And I'd say the language is more of an art than a language, because using your hands to talk is another thing. But I think it'd be really cool just to kind of sit here and you know, talk about certain things. So maybe I can do that, is implement maybe what I've learned in these videos. Maybe it can help you guys and gals out. I'm not an expert, but it'd be kind of cool to do that. Oh, and by the way, for the person who says I talk too much, be careful, because then if I'm learning how to sign language and stuff, use ASL, you're really going to have a problem. Going to make it hard. I heard it's very hard to start learning. Once you pick up on it, it's not too bad. Not too bad. And then this goes right in here. Well, I'm glad now I checked. I would have really messed that up. And yeah, so click, click, click. I don't know how to sign that one, but it's ticking. It's like a hammer. Maybe it's some kind of, I don't know what this would be, but it goes in there like that. Okay, now we're back onto the main model. Looks like we're just taking a bunch of ice cubes. Oh, this is, are these the same blue? Oh yeah, they are. So yeah, I know C is like this. You can only do it with one hand. You can't use 2 hands for the alphabet. It has to be done with one hand. That's what I was reading on. So I have to... oh, it goes here. Don't forget that one. It's like, I'll show you here. The book was showing this. Like, where does that go? It doesn't show you here, but yeah, it goes right back here. So don't forget that. I would have forgot it, but I think it'd be really cool to just do that. It's just, especially on noon face vlogs, I can sign. I think it'd be kind of cool. Like, I know that this is help. I mean, obviously, like putting something there to hold it up. That I know it's help. I remember there was a movie, called, I think, Project X. What's his name? Matthew Broderick, and it was about monkeys. Anybody remembers that movie? I remember some of the signs from it. Like Apple was your fist up to your cheek for Apple. There's some things I picked up from movies. You know what? Maybe I need to find some movies or something, like cartoons to watch with that, because it'd be a lot easier for me to visually see it than just trying to do that. But I have to start at the basics first. I'm going to have to learn the alphabet. I'm going to have to start like I'm in kindergarten and work my way up. I think it'd be kind of cool, though. Like I said, I've just been thinking about it for the last couple of years. Really been thinking about it, though, the last few days. Like, it'd just be cool just to expand the viewership of this channel a bit and include, have more inclusion. There was a guy on YouTube a long time ago. Let me bring this up here for you. He did reviews on YouTube, and he was fully deaf, and he would do a review, signing and pointing things out. And I thought that was the most coolest thing. I cannot find that guy's channel to this day. I cannot find it, or I'd share it and thinking, oh, we got to get more of that in here. I mean, you can hear him. You can hear the noise in the background. The video wasn't totally muted, so he was just signing stuff out. And he would point out things about the set. He'd bring it up. He'd sign it and show you and point what it is. And, pretty much what I do here. And I just thought, that's so cool. We just got to get more content like that, instead of just reading the captions on the screen. And yeah, well, that's pretty much what that is there. Okay, now it looks like we're working on another section here. Oh yeah, but some have said I built slow in these. Here's the deal. I'm illustrating a lot of the build. I'm just not trying to just blast through this as much as I'd like to. I'm looking for another 1x5. 1x5 plates are so handy. I'm so glad Lego brought those out. Now we just need to get a 7 and 9 and 11 to fill in the gaps. Maybe one day. But if you're on here, in addition to anime videos or show or movie recommendations, hey, if you know how to do sign language, like, where did you start? Did you learn it in college? Did you learn it in grade school? Sesame Street, I know, does that. Surprised that hasn't been banned yet. I remember Sesame Street would teach us some stuff. Like, they would teach you the numbers. I know there's one for I love you. I think it's like this. But there was, Sesame Street's another one. I mean, I'm an adult, but plus, if you're a child learning this stuff, it's a heck of a lot easier than an adult, because we get stubborn. We have more things going on in our lives than if you're a kid. But like I said, I've been thinking about it. I haven't talked about it on here. Maybe I've glimpsed into it, but I'm just thinking about it more and more. It would be just so awesome to kind of just be able to communicate with you guys and just talking like this. Just like if I were to start doing French really bad with a Western accent. Really be bad, but I feel kind of embarrassed doing that. So I'll spare you guys the trouble of that. Oh, wow, what is this, a catapult? Alright, so we have these here. This part goes in the back. Okay, it sits right there. Okay, press that down. Oh. Huh, like a gate latch in a way. Alright, well, I don't know what that does yet, but that's what it is. It looks like that. We got that part done. We're still working on this bag here. Alright. And then now we got to make something else. So in addition to all that, though, it's always, here's the deal. No matter how old you are, you could always learn something new. There's some that are just getting into the Lego hobby. Which brings out another question. Some of you don't want me to talk about it. I am anyways. Especially with the cost of everything, tariffs, all that stuff. Where do you get Lego cheap? Or if you're just getting into this hobby, the best thing I can suggest is buy a very small set first. You don't want to commit to something that you're not going to be interested in later on, because Lego is an investment. It's not just a building toy, because you can buy more and expand on it. And there's always been some comments, Jay, where do I find the parts cheap? I need to find this piece. I got a budget of $20. How do I start a project with a very limited budget? What do I do? And before the cost of everything went up, I got to make 2 of these. It was just all about where do you find the stuff? Where do you find the deals? You actually have to go out and find the deals. If you need to if you're trying to find certain sets, forget it. You can hit certain marketplaces. You can hit auction sites if you're looking for something specific. Okay, this one goes right here. It shows the other one going on the other side. Do we know which way it's facing? I think it's facing the same way here. This is going to keep these, you can see how it's starting to split here. This will keep these from splitting. But, it's all about that. Okay, now we're doing the base here. And, getting into this as a full-time hobby, Lego for beginners, what do? Start off with small sets, polybag sets. Don't spend a whole lot. Spend no more than 10, 20 bucks on a set. You're only going to be out that much. Don't go spend $650. You start working on, let's say, like the Pokemon trio, and you're bored of it. You can't put it together. You give up real easily. And it would just not be a very fun experience. So I always say, don't start with big stuff. Start with small stuff. That kind of thing. Some people ask me, where do I start? I'm a beginner. What do I do? Well, that's what you do. Don't start big. Start off small. Okay. Something like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't start with this set. If you're getting into this, just don't. You're gonna be bored to death. Okay. Unless you're really interested in a theme. I mean, if you're really confident, or if, here's the deal. Look for clearance items. I kid you not. Sometimes I will find sets that are clearance for 50% off, 60% off. You really have to go in. You're going to have to travel. You're going to have to spend a little money in gas to find the deals. And, yeah, it's either that or you have it shipped and you pay more. And I think that's it for bag 12 with, looks like no pieces remaining here. But as you can see, though, yeah, it's more like a catapult. So I'm not sure what we're doing yet here. We're not close yet to being done here. Okay, now we're moving on to 13, and I'm glad I stopped when I did. I had a light flashing on the camera, wasn't paying attention. The memory card was about to go kaput. Like, I only had less than a minute. I got that really in time. Okay, okay, we got a small bag here, another 20 minutes, not too bad. So we're going to be here for a while today. But yeah, like I said, I think sign language would be really cool to learn. Like it's like doing the anime drawings. Somebody had asked me, how did I learn how to do the anime stuff? I already had drawing classes back in college, so it kind of helped a little bit. So it looks like we're building some kind of platform there. And you get into The, wow, 2x10s, that's rare. But if you're getting into the drawing, you're going to have to look up on the basic principles of drawing. Drawing an anime figure, how do you draw them? You know, you're going to have to learn how to do that. In order for me to do what I did, I had to learn a lot of things. A lot of the stuff that I had to learn was back in college. And it's amazing how much I retained through that. So, oh, these are nice slopes. Use those for water. But just learn basic face shapes, learn side profiles, all that stuff. Then once you're good, you go into Blender and you start sculpting it out. That was a learning curve in itself. If you're really determined, you can learn anything you want. You don't have to be restricted. You can learn anything. Alright, don't let anybody tell you you can't. Just say, hey, I'm going to learn how to draw. I'm going to learn sign language. I'm going to learn how to build an awesome Lego creation. And you start at the principles, okay? You're going to have to learn the very basic stuff. But you know what? Here's the deal. We've all started out like that. You know, when I do Lego stuff, how did I get good at building these awesome models in Lego? Not this stuff, but my own stuff. Practice. It's all you do. It's like getting on your bike and practice and learn how to ride. Just like with anything, you're going to have to practice. Just practice. Learn how to do things. Things may seem a little scary, you know. I mean, that's quite all right. You know, I mean, here's the deal. We're always scared of trying out new things. So try something new. The worst thing that can happen is, well, that we mess up, right? You know, this is one reason why I don't ever edit any of my mistakes in these videos. It's okay to mess up. Some things will be more costly than others, but, oh, wow, 2x3 basic yellow bricks. That's unusual. But to start off very basic. Oh, that was a mirror? Okay, we have to build mirrors of these. Yeah, that was a mistake too, but it's okay to make mistakes, all right? Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, all right? It's like this is supposed to be fun. If you don't get your project done correctly, you don't get it done the way you want it, you didn't glue it together, just take it apart and figure it out, you know? Troubleshoot. It's like in here, it's pretty much the same thing with mock building. You're going to have to troubleshoot and figure things out. And yeah, if you're a younger kid, yeah, you're going to be like, oh, I want to get this done, I want to do it now. Well, no, don't rush through it, because and I'm going to tell you, even if I think a project's good, I've been going through some of my older tutorials, and I'm like, okay, I could have rebuilt this a lot better. And I do. Because I have a new take on things. So, it just depends. And that's what it is. Okay, and that goes right there. Oh, it looks like an iceberg. Maybe that's what it is. And you got to make two of those, of course. And it looks like that. Yeah, it looks just like that, huh? And then now we got to fill in all the voids here with 2x4 bricks. 2x4 bricks, I have 2 totes full of just this type of brick. They're big bulk items. That's the part you really need to hoard up on, is 2x4s. So if you're ever getting into Lego hobby, you know, start looking for basic bricks. You're going to need a lot of them. If you want to build a city, bricks, plates, slopes, doors, windows, tiles. Very basic stuff. Okay, that's what you need to make a city. Very basic. And then start from there. Okay, well, we're adding a bit more to this now. I'm going to combine steps 64 and 65 together. Uh-oh, did I make a boo-boo? I did. That's supposed to go like that, so don't combine them together. It's supposed to go like that. Whoopsie, my bad. See, I make mistakes all the time. Imagine me trying to hide all those mistakes. That's what it's supposed to look like. And then we take these and we stick these in here. Oh, that looks cold, doesn't it? It's been in the 70s all week, which is real nice outside. I've been working on my outdoor lights. I just got to do the front part of the house with the garage. That's it. And maybe turn around the edge a little bit on the side of it, and I'll be done. I could probably have it done today, but then that requires me to actually do something else, which I'm kind of not in the mood to work on them right now, but I should. I want to get... My goal is today is to finish this setup first, get this gone, and get it out of here, because I'm tired of looking at it, to be honest. Messing with the same color. Oh, that would be a nice base plate if you had it all studded on the top. Okay. Gotta mess with your Technic. Oh no. Dreaded Technic all over again. Gotta make a rolling pin. And then stick this in here. And it goes like that. Kind of wiggly. In fact, this probably got more strength than the whole entire set combined. And then we have this here. This sits here. Right inside that groove there. It's falling apart, huh? And then that's it with that. And then they ask us just to randomly put this piece here. Lego, why didn't you just have me put that over here? Either just take it off and do it like this. It just sits in there. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't move though either. It doesn't slide. It's just, I think it's just meant to be like a kind of like a very unstable platform. Theirs sits level. Mine doesn't. I think it's meant to be like that. I mean, let's take a look here. So this goes in like that there. You've got a better view than I do. It fits right in that track there. And yeah, maybe it's just meant to be a slide or something. And then it gives you an example here of how this works. So what you do here is you put your bear on here like this. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing here. He just sits on there. You can see my leg again. So you just set him on here like this. No, get back in the lock. And then you take your blue hand and you have to pull that out. Wow, that didn't work too well, did it? Yeah, that's where he's supposed to be. Let's try that again. Wow, that's taking face plants. And what's the point of that then? It's got a bunch of question marks like, ow, that hurt. Well, that takes care of that bag there. That wasn't too bad. That was a quickie. Okay, now we're going to move on to bag 14. And I forgot we had just one piece remaining. Not too bad. I just got to find the bin that has all these. And then... now we got to solve for something here. So what are we supposed to do? You're supposed to go down and save the baby cub. Okay, so I think that's what that plate was for. Was attach him right here. I think. Like that. Okay, well, we got to figure out how to get down there. And, oh, we're going to actually have to add claws to him. Well, that was what was missing. Okay. And they show claws on him. That's a big bag for claws. There's got to be more to that. I see some parts in it that are new. Okay, let's see here. I've never seen these before. They're rubbery with little studs in them. Yeah. Oh, they got grip on them too. So they kind of show what you're supposed to do here. Let's see what other kind of parts. We got these. You have these. You know what? You can probably combine these with that too, and it would look just as good. You also got these, but what would you use those for? Let's see, is there more to it than this? No? Yeah. But how many of these do we have here? We just have 2 of these. So, what do we do? We'll just have a front paw and a back paw. How about that? And we'll just kind of tinker with this and see how this works. This has got some grip to it. I bet this is going to land on here and he won't move. That's what we need. We need some grip. I think they gave us 4, but no. They didn't. Lego was depriving us. So we got these, which are kind of like spears. This is meant for you to try different methods out. But I've never seen these type of parts before, so I'm going to try using them. So, let's see here. We're just going to make them and then we're going to install them. We're going to install them. Okay. Usually the experiments don't take all that long. We put these here. Oh, that's let's put that on here. We're going to use these as his front paws here. Doesn't look too bad. Okay. But these are a different height, so we need to come out and build this up a bit more. Okay. So how would we do this? We have these. Well, what on earth would you use these for? And you got these here. Alright, let's see what other parts we have in here. I bet these are supposed to either stick in here or you'd use them in these round bricks. They don't give us a whole lot of parts, so we're going to have to get kind of creative here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab something like, that wouldn't be too bad, to compensate for the height. Uh-oh, my nose is starting to run again. I think we only need it for the adult. I wish these were upwards. But they didn't give us a whole lot of other plates. Like, I don't have enough to fill the back here. What do? You have these. I mean, I could fill that partially in. The thing is, they give you a lot of... Sometimes it just depends on the experiment. Sometimes they'll give you parts you can need. Most times they'll give you parts that you just absolutely just don't need. Like these. What am I going to use these for? I can't see those in my mind. And... what do? You know, I got plenty of claws here. That's a 1x2. Here's some 1x2s. You know, unless I put claws on the back side, but that's not going to look too cool. I also got these too. They give us a bunch of these. They give us 8 of these. it's like they show them here on all fours, but we didn't have all four. See, it's up to us to figure it out with the very bare minimum that you can use here. And yeah, usually when you're building your own mocks, you've got a bunch of pieces you'll never use. Or just do it like this. Pray his paws don't fall off when you drop him. I think that's good enough. I don't want to spend all day on this here. And now we got to try it again here without him sliding around. Okay. So let's run through the experiment here. Now I'm going to do this on the main channel also, but right now we're just going to focus here. That's kind of creepy. But will it work now? Nope. And it seems like this is so far away. Let me take a look here, because I've never got him to really reach onto that. Is it another one of these failed experiments? No, I mean, there's a big gap in there, too. And mine doesn't sit flat, though. This is supposed to sit like this, but unless it does, and he does stay on there, but now... Yeah, let me take a look here at the last part of the platform here. Because it just doesn't sit flat. But that's how they wanted it. You got me, folks. See, I don't even know what's going on here. Because... this one, I think this experiment set here has got the most crummiest ones here I've ever seen. It just doesn't work. This is supposed to be way out here, but he slides back. Well, now it works. I think it's just a hit or miss. But these do grab onto the bottom, though, which is what it's supposed to do. Let's try it again here. Yeah, this should have been thought out a bit better. If this is moved over by a few studs or there's more weight here, I think it'd be okay. But I think this experiment here is just a hit or miss. It just seemed like it didn't work all that well. Or I'm missing something, but it's supposed to land there. But I don't know how that goes. I must have royally messed up here. But it worked. It worked one time. When I do the actual initial thing, we're going to do it about 4 or 5 times and see here. But it's a hit or miss. At least here I'm documenting my work. And that's what we have remaining there for bag 14. Okay, now we need to invent something. So right now this guy's a mountain climber. What do we have to invent here? Oh, he's going to have to make some kind of thing to go over the top. Well, that should be fun. Something with claws on it. He's trying to... what is he trying to do? Run him down? I don't know what he's doing here. And that's it. So that's what we're doing here, and this is bag 15, so I don't expect anything big out of this one. But while we're unbagging this, I want to thank everyone on Patreon and on my main channel for being contributors. It's always a big help. In addition, if you like my building guide, check out my rubricable profile. I've got plenty there. I'm working on some older builds to put on there, so hopefully get those up there soon. And if you like the style of video, you like me boring you to death, or my crude commentary, it's free. Feel free to subscribe, turn on notifications. You know, that's the worst thing that can happen, right? And I'm not for everybody. If you don't like this type of stuff, I'll understand, you know. Don't want to see you go, but that's just how it is. But, yeah. Now we got to build this here. And let's get on to this now. So we got to make some kind of a sleigh here with teeth. Well, all I have is stuff like that. We have skis. Or things for skis. Yeah. How are we going to do that? Got a couple of eye saws. I have a tutorial that uses one of those, so hang on to one of them. You'll need it. Pickaxes. Because when we make this, it's going to have to grab onto the bottom. Now, that, it would just be a hit or miss. So we got to make some kind of a cleat system for the bottom that will hold on to this. Well, I need these lamp holders in this blue color. Well, there they are. Now I know exactly what set they're in. Do we get any handlebars with this? They show handlebars. Lego, are you serious? Like, we don't even get handlebars? Oh yeah, we do. We get the black ones. You need to keep your colors consistent. Alright, let's get on to the build here. I don't want to spend no more than like 10-15 minutes on this. I'm going to hang this over. We have these. And okay, so the first thing we need to do is it's going to have to slide on some kind of a track. So what I'm going to do is stick these at the bottom here for a track piece. Because on this thing here, it's going to have to go here, and then when we press this, it's also got to be heavy enough too to do that. Well, at least it stayed on the platform, but we need to add more weight to that. Okay, so we already figured out that part. Let's start putting it together here. But yeah, these are like a hit or miss type set. I just, like I said, I'm used to doing my own thing here. Well, these won't fit in the back, obviously. I could put these in the front here. That'd be kind of cool. But you don't want to get too smooth because it'll slide around. So we need to figure out a way to put some brakes on this. Like I said, they don't give you a whole lot of parts. You just have to get creative with what you have here. And I'm working from my imagination. That means what I see in my mind. And that's where I'm going off of. It's just what I see in my head. And I have a feeling he's probably sitting, so let me grab our figure here. So when I do the tour on this, my goal is we're just going to run through it like we did the other ones, and then and then for the review, I'm going to put it all up on the table and just talk about the whole thing. You know, stuff like this, you know, I don't want to spend all day working on. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll put this here. Here, you can get off that for right now. So we got the handlebars ready to go. So that takes care of that. We need to add a lot of weight in the front, so let's add that in there. And then we need to put some sides on this, huh? I want to fall out. And then we have tools. Okay. We got pickaxes, we got some saws. You could probably use the saws on the side. They do have studs like that, but what I would do, that's where my minifigure is going to sit. And let's just do it like this here. They give us a bunch of these. I got an idea. Okay, we don't have any more 1x2s. I could put that in there. Don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. And then I'm going to stick these here. We got a place to hold all our tools. I'm trying not to put so much weight in the back, but what do you use these for? It makes me wonder who packs these sets, like who comes up with these ideas. And I bet these were already pre-made with an idea or two. Maybe 2 or 3 people probably came up with different ideas and they just kind of packaged the bare minimum parts. That's really a... You know, you could stick these at the bottom and it would grab onto it too. Alright, like I said, I don't want to spend all day on this, but I got to check a video. I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Get some slopes back here. What am I doing? I'm putting more weight in the back. And oh, we gotta have some. Ooh, we gotta have some side mirrors so we can see who's behind us. Maybe the bear's trying to chase us down. Put those in there. I think that's good enough. We got this bare plate in the middle. I would put that in the back there. Well, we can just fill that up there. Oh wait, I got to be careful. You know why? Because we're going to need to bring this thing out. And I don't want to clog that up there with something. They always give you pieces like this. And I don't know what I'd use those for. Okay. Maybe I should have the pickaxes sticking down to grab into the ground. I think we're good there. Now the trick is to make sure he can hold on to all his tools while he's driving. I'm going to put him in there. Well, the binoculars fell out, but I'll put those back in when we're done. Alright, so that's a very bad way to drive, but we're going to try it and see here. I mean, that's scary there. I mean, who in their right mind's going to drive off a cliff like that? I wouldn't. Well, let's see if it works. Yeah, this doesn't have a whole lot of slope. I think what it's supposed to do is fly like that. Yeah. I mean, these are very crude experiments. You know, what can I say? Let's see if we can add a few more things to it here to slow it down. What about these? We got a couple of them. As a matter of fact, they give us 4. You know what? I'm going to try something here. Do a little modification here. But yeah, back to this set though. Guys and gals, you cannot imagine how bad I want to get this one out of here. I really want to get back to the Venusaur. I want to get back to doing my own stuff. And right now, doing something like this, it just feels like my imagination's just being like stifled up a bit. It just feels like I'm not even getting an option to explore my imagination because I'm limited on parts. And I'm also limited on what I can do here. Because, I mean, literally, I barely touched this. Parts are falling off. Well, we got a couple of these. But this is too big, and this is not going to stick with these. So I can't put that there. Or you know what I'm going to do? stick these here. Yeah, I'm praying to the gods that this doesn't fall apart, and it feels very flimsy. Without using correct pieces, or you know what? See, it's just, we're getting to the point now where we're just tacking one by ones on, and it's just really, really flaky here. See, every time I turn around, I'm knocking parts off. I'd say build quality in this is at a 7. This is really bad. And then now I'm just going to shove these here like this. Alright, let's try it again here. We don't want to lose those binoculars. Alright. Oh, I can't. Because now I lost my tracks. Alright, let's fix that up. Yep. Uh-huh. Jay, just say the bad words. I would love to. Just like with the other ones, I would love to just start dropping the bomb, but they just don't give you enough of a size that you could use. Like, I wish these were facing upwards. I'd just shove these here for fillers, but I can't. I only got one jumper plate. I got this guy. It's like half the parts they give you in these are just useless. Like, if you want to make a track piece, how do you do that now? I have no way to slide this in. I thought, okay, I could slide it here. You can't. Without mutilating the whole thing, and I don't want to spend hours on this. I'm bored. I'm bored. And really almost every one of these sets involves these colors. I remember when I was in educational, when I was doing getting my teaching credentials. They would, fun. People learn by colors. People learn by shapes. You got to have very bright, fun, colorful lesson plans. See, this is falling apart. Using very subtle, muted. Like coral's pretty cool. These two go together, but I would not say that this is perfect. But for me, yeah, this is really just falling apart here. Let me find where that went. I could be doing something else right now than this goofy old thing. Yeah, I'm used to having a big imagination and being hampered down to just a little bit here is not fun. Now I could put these and fill these little spots in. Let's try that out. It's going to disintegrate. No, I can't put those in there. Those pieces are useless. And you can't put them sideways. Yeah, Lego, I don't know who are you hiring to pack these up? But this is really kind of just like we're teaching the kids on how to do bare minimum builds. And I mean, bare minimum. You've heard me use that term, and yeah, bare minimum. I'm into perfection, and what am I doing here? I'm building like I'm 4 years old again. I'm trying to make something work out of what I would consider, most of these I would consider junk parts for this. If I had some of those 1x4 Technic gears, I could have done like the plate gears. That would have worked really good. Okay. Sorry about that again. I'm going to go up in my attic here, get the stuff. I'm going to wire up a light that says on air. Do not bother me. I swear. And somebody says, your girlfriend must really bother you a lot. No, it's not my girlfriend that does that. She knows that I have to get some of this stuff done. Okay, now let's try it out. We'll see how it works. Does it answer your question? We're going to try it again here. Yeah, it's supposed to grab onto something like this. Yeah, I'd say this one here was a complete bust. I just don't think this is even worth my time. I don't want to spend 2 hours on this. I really don't. I've already spent an hour filming. So yeah, this is, I'm sure somebody will probably come up with something better. But this, I would say, oh, we can't lose the binoculars. I don't want to lose that either. They want to know if I wanted to go out and get something to eat. I said, I got about another 30, 40 minutes, and it kind of stirred up some stuff. I said, right now my girlfriend's at work. I was coming back here to film. I don't even know what time it is. Dinner at 3 in the afternoon? I don't know, but this is what we have remaining here for the build. And yeah, let's start setting this behemoth up so I can run through the review real quick. And as you can tell, it's not that good. And I mean, I swear these sets have just gotten crummier. The more parts they put on them, the worse the experiments have gotten. The first educational sets that came out weren't too bad, but these have just kind of, this is more or less just crummy. It's just, we're messing with the same colors pretty much throughout the whole thing. And I'm just going to be honest, if I was a 10-year-old, I mean, what's the age range on this set anyways? See, I don't even know because in my mind now I'm trying to... 9+. I don't think a 9-year-old's going to be too interested in something like this. 9-year-olds want to they want to build cars, they want to build doll houses, they want to build buildings, skyscrapers, trains. No, I would say that this set here was a bust. And if you're looking for something fun, you know, and I'm just going to you know, for the summation of not only this build here, but for the whole thing as a whole, I'm going to say that I would find something else to invest your money in. I mean, literally, Lego they don't tell us we should say bad things, but I'd say that this is probably a set that I would just stay away from. I would not invest my money into this. Even for an educational institution setting. Yes, and I'm going to show you something here. We're still setting up, by the way. The graphics in here, like I said, the graphics are impressive. And a little brief introduction of what we're doing here. This is fun. I wish they would have expanded on this more. Forgot that. But the rest of it here is just it just feels like an expensive parts pack at this point and a waste of time. I mean, I've already spent over an hour just building this, and do I feel like I got my money's worth out of it if I were to pay $100 for this? I mean, the money wise for a parts pack, you get some decent parts. But I just don't quite understand here what's going on with these educational sets, to be honest here. They're just not that great. When I set the whole thing up on the table, when I do the actual review, I'm going to say a score on these. Experiments are hit or miss. I'm not going to ding off for that because that's up to you to figure out what's going on. So I'm not going to say it's going to get an F. by any means. I'm going to just do the thumbnail last. So I'm just going to be honest. This was, I'm going to bluntly say it, wasted my time. I mean, we had some good conversations putting this one together. Making sure I have enough space here so when I do the tour, because I'm going to do the tour real quick. Hopefully I don't get interrupted when I do the review. Matter of fact, it just brings back memories of when I used to live back home. And you can put a sign on your door and it doesn't matter. The girlfriend knows, but the parents don't know. It's like, I'm trying to film something. Well, can't you take a break? Like, no, I'm right in the middle of filming. That kind of thing. And it's just trying to explain to them what I'm doing here. Well, I've had it happen where, why don't you get a regular hobby? Yeah, you see the rest of the house? It's all full of 30s, 40s, and 50s technology. Yeah, that's my other hobby. And that's what it is. But, yeah, it's hard to explain, though. But back to the build, I'm not impressed, even as a set as a whole. There's some stuff that I could take out of it, building techniques like the trees and stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead. We're going to get into the experiment 4, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack on the review at the end of this session here as a whole. Okay, so I'm going to say that my score on this is a 6. I was not thrilled with this one. The builds are bare minimum. But yeah, let's go ahead and run through this one real quick. Here is experiment 4, and this one involves polar bears and terrain and how they navigate through it. But before we can get into all that, let's take a look at our minifigure. He's probably the most exciting part of the build. He does feature a double-sided head, which is really cool. And I like these torsos. These are really nice, especially if you're doing a winterscape theme. It's got his binoculars and his ice hammer and all that stuff, so he's ready to go. And we got our polar bears. You get to make a brick-built baby polar bear. Looks more like Snoopy. And an adult polar bear. And if you see the stuff on the bottom, this is the solve here. So when you build it, you just have him with no pads on his feet. And it's just brick built, posable, you know, limbs move, all that stuff. But you won't want them to move what we're going to be doing with him. And this is what we built here for the build portion of the set, is a little catapult here, or what I think is a catapult, but it doesn't work what you think here. And basically what it is, the bears are going to have to navigate on here. So the cub comes down here, and he's hanging on for dear life. He just attaches onto these studs right here. In fact, it'd be better to go this way here, and I'll show you what this does. And we'll need that in a bit. We'll take a closer look at that. So the polar bear is supposed to come onto here like this, and he's supposed to land on this platform. Now, I barely got this to work. He only landed on it one time. Let's see if he could do it again. Most time he'll just fall into here, or he'll slide around. So that was the goal, was with the solve, is to prevent him from sliding all over the place. And right over here is where you have to pull this out and he should fall down. Okay, so this time it actually worked, but he barely was grabbing on. But I got to have my 3 chance rule here. See, sometimes it won't work. Try it one more time here. Yeah. So this project here is a hit or miss. Let's try it again here. It's a hit or miss. You may have to split his legs out a bit. And sometimes it doesn't want to work. Yeah. So It seems like this is either too far away or this wasn't out far enough. And yeah, the first time it worked okay. He's supposed to land on here like that. To come over here, make sure his baby's okay, and then we can save him. Okay? Not too bad. All right. But we're not done with that. Now we got to do the solve portion, which is a little homemade snowmobile thing with cleats on the bottom. You know, they give you a bunch of parts here to go through this. And this thing here, well, you can see it's got handlebars. It's meant for a minifigure. Never safe to drive with the hammer in your hand. You never know where that thing's going to go flying off. We're going to set him in here. Now, the experiments in here you can do any way you want. This is just what I saw in my imagination. And it just depends on where you want to start with this at here. So basically, this is supposed to land on here pretty much like the bear. That doesn't look too pleasing, doesn't it? That looks very painful. We'll try that again here. See what I mean? This experiment here was pretty much a bust. Yeah. You know, things are just going to fall off. This thing's kind of built kind of crummy, but that's essentially what I did. I'm sure you'll probably come up with something different, but this experiment here, yeah, I wasn't too thrilled with it. It was just not that fun. It seemed like nothing worked on it. The bear barely goes onto the platform half the time. You think he'd get a running start and just jump on there. But I was just not pleased with this one. This one was just like the other ones. It was bare minimum built. If I can get this back in his hand here, you know how I am with my bad editing skills. It's this right here, well, this here has got more weight than this whole project combined. This is built okay. Matter of fact, if that had a way to, maybe he could jump off of that, it'd be easier for him just to jump on here and do a belly slide or a rear end slide. But I'm going to say that this one wasn't too exciting, but basically it's just learn how polar bears navigate through icy terrains. But this one here, yeah, I would say that this one's a bust. I just could not get it to work. And I did not want to spend all day trying to figure it out. And, you know, this is always a topic about retention rates here. You know, and this is a question you have to ask. Are you or your child are going to be into this? Is this something you're going to have a lot of retention for? And for me, for this model here, I was not too thrilled with it. I was just rather bored. It was the same color palette we did with pretty much with all the other ones. Not only just with this set, but with the other ones. And yeah, I just, maybe I just didn't see this one differently. It wasn't that interesting. Just the colors just kind of made it bland. But you want to know my true feelings on my set? Well, here they are. Let's start the review with play value. And as you see here, we get 4 minifigures, several brick-built animals, and some structures, and some very crude vehicles. So I'd say there is some potential with this set. It depends on what you're looking for. In addition to the play value, you could take these pieces and combine all these together, make a different type of model or some kind of theme out of this. They do give you a good, decent variety of parts, both medium, large, and small pieces. So you could probably come up with your own builds other than what LEGO has provided here. But play value for me as an adult was very limited. You know, like I said, you do get the accessories, you get food, you get tools, but other than that, it's more just a very large parts pack. Now, if you're looking for something with build quality, I'd say this one here is just average to below average. I did have some pieces fall apart, especially if you're making your own inventions. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. Some of these can be very flimsy builds, such as this hunting shack in here in the back, and some of the vehicles I was putting together, even The walrus could get a little brittle, and it was just nothing to write home about. It was just more or less just tacking pieces on and saying it's done. And as you can tell, there's a lot of air in here. A lot of these builds are airy. Things are not really attached all the way. And if you're looking for something with a lot of robust features, it's built very well. This set is obviously not built for that. So if you're looking for something durable, this one's not it. Which leads to my build experience. And honestly, I was bored of this set. It was not exciting to put together. We're using the same colors as we use pretty much in the other educational sets. I mean, at least we have a little bit more here. We have medium nougat. We have some green in here. At least there's a little bit more color. But honestly, I just wasn't too happy putting this together. I was like counting down the bricks just to get this one done. And you shouldn't feel like that about a Lego set, but this one here was a complete miss for me. I just could not get into this build whatsoever. I just wasn't too happy with the outcome of it. Now, as far as for experiments, as you saw in the previous segments, a lot of these experiments don't really work all that well. Like this one here did not work with the walrus. We couldn't get the bear to land on here. And this one here just lacks play features or experimental features. The only one I'd say would work very well was the ski slope here. This one was probably the only one I think worked the best out of all four of these. So more or less, I was pretty much at a loss of words on this one. I just can't think of anything positive to say about it. It was more just like a time waster project than anything else. But if you were interested in this type of theme, this should be great. But except for educational value with the included excerpts in the building guides, there's really not a whole lot with this set. I didn't really learn a whole lot from it. And I just was rather turned off on this model. It just looks kind of junky, if you ask me. I mean, at least you get some nice minifigures and accessories, but for a tune of $99.99, I could see that being spent elsewhere other than this set. But honestly, if you like these educational themes, this is a really good gold mine. But for me, this was a complete miss. I just could not get into this build. I was hoping it would be something different, since it was the larger of the four educational sets, but this one here was just more of a hodgepodge full of experiments. Most of them just did not work. So I have to give this set a score of 6 out of 10. No stickers. There was a brick separator. It can be built by up to 4 people, which is a positive note. But other than that, though, it just feels like your typical cookie cutter education city build. Very bare bones, bare minimum that you could build things. Things are tacked on, you know. Things are just flaking off on these. And honestly, I could see this being a lot more better, but I just think this was just a miss here. But if you're looking for something with educational value, this one really just didn't have it. Well, for me anyway, except for the building guides. They do make it kind of interesting, but basically we're just getting experiments here that are just kind of more or less just the bare minimum, and I wasn't too thrilled with it. But I want to know what you guys and gals think of the Arctic Animal Educational Science Kit, and tell me what you think. This one, I just could not get into it.